Okay, welcome back to Scholastically Natalie, where we talk about books, writing, reading, D&D, and sometimes other things. I almost forgot my intro spiel, how embarrassing, but I suppose it has been quite a while since I've talked to everyone. Welcome back to both you and me. As you can see, I have had to swap over to a new channel. My wonderful university decided they wanted to stop supporting alumni accounts, and shocker, I was running my YouTube based off of an alumni account, so that's gone now. Well, the channel's still there, it's just that I can't access it, do anything. I was originally privating as I was uploading new videos so that I could make sure I had everything, but they kind of didn't tell us when that went dark, so I just kind of tried to log in one day and it didn't work. Which was not very convenient for me, but whatever. So, if you have found me on the new channel, howdy, nice to see you again. It's been probably a year. I'm very bad at keeping up with actually doing things in real time, or at all ever, maybe. As you will soon, or perhaps have already figured out. So, I'm starting a new campaign. The one that we've previously talked about. I don't know, I've had a couple. I think we might have talked about the floating island one that I was excited about. We've accidentally had like a 3-month-long break on it, maybe longer than that even. And so I asked my players, I was like, we can pick it back up, or I can world build us a new campaign. And so they did select a new campaign. I've been kind of playing with this for a little bit, but I've been really wanting to do a plague setting recently. It was part of my world building for my flying campaign, actually. Not my flying, my floating. I had a bunch of floating islands. And that I had decided part of the backstory for them to be floating. If you're any of my players, go away. I had decided that part of them floating was part of exiling diseased peoples from the ground, and the current society was a result of them essentially being isolated up in the air and nobody remembers why. Little bit of inspiration from Children of the Whales there. But because I want to do a plague setting. Oh, sorry, we are
helps you handle it. Asana
getting an
AI
ad.
can spot
That's terribly
roadblocks
rude
and
of them.
assign work to keep everything on
For my
track.
background music.
That's how work
Can't
gets
trust
handled.
anything these days.
Visit us at asana.com.
I don't pay for YouTube Premium.
Have you been
I
feeling
should,
sad
honestly.
most of
I
the
listen to a
time,
lot of
losing
YouTube
interest
stuff.
in things you once cared about? You may be experiencing
Either
these
way,
and other
whatever.
symptoms that are
That
difficult
was
to
completely an
understand.
aside.
These symptoms are worth exploring
So
with
I
a
had to
doctor.
plan out a
Learn
plague
more
setting.
about major depressive disorder and a potential
So if you hear
treatment
any
option
paper
at
crunkling, it's me.
managingdepression.us.
I made a bunch of notes while I was at work. And I wanted to transfer them onto Solid and actually get to thinking about it. So, of course, the biggest issue with there being a plague is that we have a goddess of healing. One of my players loves playing life clerics for this god, and so then I was kind of trying to generate what has happened to make her unable to just cure the plague. And so I have landed on the fact that she is currently imprisoned, I believe. Let me double check. I have a bunch of notes. There's even some in my phone from different people I ran this back on. Okay. So, she is currently imprisoned. Let's see, I'm gonna do it this way. Currently imprisoned. That's the wrong word. Is my ad over? There we go. And then I was wondering, so what's happening with this plague and why does it exist? So this plague is happening because where did my note go? Okay, there we go. Because Ilya, who is the god of disease, I gave her a bunch of halflings who also cure stuff. So Ilya is the god of disease, and he is not a... I needed to make myself a little summary for them. So, not a widely worshipped god. You know, why would you why would you worship the small one when you can worship the big one? One main temple... Wow, I'm not great at typing today. That people usually make a pilgrimage to... I don't think I did remember how to spell that correctly. People make a pilgrimage to when they are severely ill. If they are rich enough, a cleric will come to them, or clerics may be directed to assist by Ilya. Usually represented by a halfling with long braided brown hair in monk robes, think Jedi, in beige. His skin is usually faintly opalescent. Now, this opalescence is tinged with darkness and looks smoky. Rather than acts of service, Ilya, as I spell that incorrectly again, usually asks for a sacrifice of dead bodies if they were killed by disease. If none is available, regular water or contaminated water is acceptable. I'm so good at spelling. Okay. So I did want a brief breakdown of him, because I was like, why on earth does he exist? And why is he not here? Okay. So, Ilya... So, Sartiana is currently in prison. Ilya, god of disease, infected with the disease. Which is always interesting, because that means this disease is divine in origin. It is, so that means it is going to be spreading from his main temple. Let's see. All of Ilya's clerics display symptoms
It's nap time.
of
What if your dreams could become reality?
this disease
Dreams come true. This can't be happening. This is totally happening.
and are
From the studio that brought you
quarantined
K-pop Demon Hunters
in the
Save
main
our family
temple.
if we find the Sandman.
comes a brand new animated
They
adventure
are
beyond
not
anything you
killed
could ever dream.
Jetpack.
by
six-pack,
this
fist of
infection,
dynamite?
nor are
In your
they
dreams. Rated PG. Only on Netflix November 14th.
contagious. Okay, I have that most countries are divided between calling on Sartiana desperately or cursing her for abandoning them. Okay, that's my initial thought. So I was thinking of basing it entirely off of, let's see, what is it? What am I thinking of? Creutzfeldt Jakob disease. Mad cow disease in humans. Yes. Because it leads to or is related to this disease. And it's about prions folding in the brain. It's very interesting. But so the big thought is that I am looking for symptoms. It starts with like dementia symptoms. There we go. Thank you. I'll take Wikipedia. The main thought is that I don't want it to be too like close to anything that, you know, my players would be upset about. So, you know, we don't want that. But I know that it involves... Yeah, this is by contaminated, like, stuff. I'm not really interested in that. I want this early symptoms. So... memory problems, behavioral changes, poor coordination, visual disturbances, auditory disturbances, later symptoms. I knew that it had a link to dementia. Dementia, involuntary movements, blindness, deafness, weakness, and coma. So, because I do want to like take these symptoms and then like mix them a little bit, because so how do I want this disease to work? So in like the early stages of campaign, I'm planning to, this is going to be originating from the temple, of Ilya, seems to be contaminated water. Ilya is well known to have a blessed pool of water inside the temple that is constantly and perfectly cleared of disease, poison, that is like eternally purified, constant, purify food and drink. on it. Due to him being infected, that pool is no longer purified and is contaminated.
I use Shipt same-day delivery to stay connected with my
So,
sister during the
anybody
holidays.
that gathers water
She
from
lives
it-
across the country. Shipt has tons of stores to order from. Groceries from Albertsons,
Will
crafts from Michael's,
be
even pet supplies
infected
from PetSmart. The list goes on.
and
So when we have
spread
long-distance movie
that
nights, I turn to
through
Shipt to get
the
face
water.
masks, snacks, and everything else we need delivered
So,
to
like,
her and to me
it's
same day. Download the app or visit shipt.com. That's SHIPT.com.
further away from the temple, less infected there are. So, and that's what I'm kind of looking at. So, like, in the early stages of the campaign, so later stages, which I'm gonna put it like levels 5 through 10. This will be levels 1 through 5. Because since it's magical, this is an evolving disease. Disease has evolved to touch / fluid exchange, to touch / fluid infection. So if you're in physical contact or like they spit on you, you're infected, basically. And then last stages, which is gonna be levels 10 to 15. Disease is airborne. And I think that makes sense. Like, I think airborne's gonna be the hardest. I think that makes the most sense. Like, I don't want to infect my players, so it will be a con check. I just want this to be the setting and the looming threat of what's happening. I guess if that makes sense. So, I wanted to look at how these diseases work. Okay, so this is a bunch of examples. Okay, so this is a 13 con saving throw. Okay. Yeah, so I do want to start early stages. With a DC 10. This will be DC 13. Then this will be DC 15. Which, you know, will be up to my discretion if they stay that way. But again, I'm not really aiming to infect them with this. I just want this to be part of the setting. Obviously, they can still get it. It's just that, you know, it's kind of spreading. It's spreading and we don't like it. Okay, so as we're looking at our symptoms, I like memory problems. I think behavioral changes is a bit interesting. I'd like to swap poor coordination out just for jerking movements instead of poor coordination. I want it to kind of resemble more zombies and less just bonking into things, if that makes sense. I did see an example that there can be sudden laughter, extreme emotional whiplash, and I'm gonna say sudden aggression. So for me, I think the main tell we're gonna have for early symptoms individuals infected longer than a day will gain glowing green eyes, dark vision 120 feet. This has no reasoning other than flavor. So I think the second half. So how do I want this to progress? That's the big issue. So we need a timeline. Oh, you don't do this the easy way. Insert table. Something like that, thank you. Okay. So for my timeline. So,
One-a-day
time.
women's multivitamins are formulated to support women's overall health.
Okay,
So you
initial
never miss a beat.
infection,
Another email. No big
early
deal. A
infection,
quick workout? Yes. Strength starts from within.
later
Then it's apron on. You're making
infection,
dinner with your
and I
little
think I'm gonna
sous
do
chef.
like
You show up, and One A Day is here to support overall health, including immunity and
That's
energy.
annoying.
Shop today. One A Day, the one for you.
I'm gonna do like a week of death. Okay, so early infection. You have glowing green eyes. So week of death will be year from initial infection. How do I spell symptom? There we go. Asymptomatic. Day 1. Glowing green eyes. Day 2 plus. Later infection. I'm gonna say no pupil. In eyes. I'm gonna say 6 months plus. Week of death. Eyes completely green. Eyes solid green eyes. Light. Bright light. Okay. Symptoms. So this is the way we're gonna track that. So, con fail, brief, glowing outline. Okay, cool, that's what I want. So, and then this will be day 2 through day 2 plus later symptoms. This is going to be individuals infected 6 months plus will have no pupil. Okay. 6 months plus. Okay. So, for this, voluntary movements, blindness, deafness, weakness, coma. I mean, it's kind of what we want. Let me see. What other dementia symptoms are there? I only know the memory one. Anxiety, agitation, being suspicious. That's really not what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's not really what I'm looking for. Mold that controls ants. There we go. I know that this is the basis of The Last of Us, so I'm looking for pathology. That's not what I'm looking for. Okay, so it cuts through it. It climbs up. Interesting. So there is coma, but I am going to say some of the infected will be manipulated to walk into crowded areas once the plague becomes contact and or airborne. Roll a d6. 4+, they walk into a crowd. 3 and under, they enter a coma. Just gotta stick the tuberculosis in there. Okay. Good. So we've got that locked down. Okay. Yes. So we have 2 other gods that we have to worry about. Sardiana's out of it. And then Ilya has some siblings. So we have Tarnian, healer of the mind.
Working across teams is tough, but Asana helps you handle it. That's because
more
Asana is
popular
where humans and
than
AI
both
coordinate
Aaliyah.
work together. AI can spot
Ryantar,
roadblocks and
but
assign
with
work in a snap.
less
So everything and
power
everyone stays on track.
overheating of
That's how
the
work gets
body.
handled. That's Asana. Visit us at
He has
asana.com.
one main temple.
That's ASANA.com.
That usually has an altar or room in other healing temples. Wow, I'm really bad at typing right now. Tarnian is able to complete administrative tasks and lend Ryantar his energy, but is otherwise unable to heal or mend the current plague. He is a high elf with dark skin and long black curls in a lazy braid. He usually wears a long white robe with a blue sash. He accepts intellectual offerings and puzzles. Okay, good job, Tarnian. Then we have Ryantar, who is the poor, overworked god of this campaign. My guy needs a holiday. Okay. Ryantar. Healer of small ills. So, least popular of all healing gods. He targets small bumps, bruises, colds, or other small wrongs with the body. He does not have a concentrated temple. He usually has a small altar in the temples of other healing gods, or a dedicated room in large temples. Ryantar is completely exhausted from the current state of things, without support from Aaliyah and Sartiana missing. He is trying to cover all their duties with Tarnian. He is a pixie with dark skin and curly dark brown hair, kept in a curly mess at the top of his head. His wings look like gossamer opalite. He will accept anything except literal garbage as an offering. My boy is easily pleased. Okay, so I've got those guys down. That was the main thing I wanted to do. I've been thinking about writing all this down and then not doing it like an idiot. Okay, so have a reason Ilya's infected. So, used to be the god of plagues / diseases until Sartiana suborned him and forced him to heal instead. His partner of pestilence was incredibly upset and is taking revenge with an old project they had worked on to target Sartiana. And then for me, there is going to be either a necromancer or plague cleric of the god of plague of pestilence. Pestilence, who is helping spread the disease. I don't know if I want it. So there is a possibility of it just originating from Ilya being infected. But I think in that case, party would either have to track down the god of pestilence for the cure or release Sartiana. Either of which I'm not sure I want to have to build that. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what they'll be interested in doing. And I really liked the idea of it being a godly sort of grudge. And I really wanted to see that happen. Okay. So, this seems good to me. Wanted to get this all down, think a little bit out loud about my time frame and how I want all this to happen. If you have any symptom suggestions, I more than welcome them. This is really entirely... Oh, what's the disease? Is that the cannibalism disease? Because I think that one's about folding prions. No, Kuru. Okay, yes, I would like to see Kuru disease and what the symptoms are. Okay, so it's loss of coordination and control over muscle movements. Okay. So... like that the prevention is just avoiding cannibalism. Okay, so this is also a prion protein disease. That's why I was thinking it might be... Oh, no, it is. It is the Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease. Okay. I see. Because I had seen a random outburst of laughter listed as a symptom somewhere else, and I was just like, I don't know. Okay, so it is the same thing. Okay, I just knew that there was a disease you get from cannibalism that could be the same as the human mad cow disease, but that actually just is human mad cow disease, which makes sense. That's why you shouldn't eat brains. Which, I don't know, I kind of think that might be part of the beginning of zombies, is eating brains. Like, a lot of those symptoms sound like the basis of zombies, but who on earth knows? Either way, not important. I just wanted to start posting on here again, think through things. That's why I made this channel in the first place. I have to find a couple videos that I missed and my downloading and uploading and re-upload those, because I've had to pause re-uploading because of that. Well, like, everything's uploaded. I just need to unprivate it. But I have these 2 missing videos I need to find on my end, so it's gonna be a little bit of a pain. Either way, it'll be done eventually. Potentially in a year. Hopefully not, though. Either way, thanks for talking through my campaign with me. Anybody I want to ask is involved, so we can't just bounce ideas off of each other. And if you're one of my players, I expect you to pretend you heard nothing. Either way, this is all stuff they'll eventually find out. It's not like this is a secret. I will see you all in the next one. Scholastically Natalie is out.